Here we are back with the Colt Mustang. It's a little mini 1911. And I had some questions on how you repair it in case the ejector gets turned upside down. I put this video together in response to a question from Otis, but I hope it can help anybody else who might have the same problem. It's actually a fairly simple fix. And hopefully we can answer some of the other questions that he had as well. Now, I've already done a video on how to disassemble this. I had someone in the community ask me some questions. So on this particular version, this slide does not have the standard 1911 barrel bushing that normally would sit right here. That holds everything in place. There are versions of this that do have it. It's just this is a different version. I can't remember when they made them. I can't remember if they started in like 86. I think they stopped making them in 1999, and then they picked them back up again in the 2000s and then stopped making them again. You may have a different setup with the spring and guide rod. Once again, they did make some changes, and I'm not familiar with the models that came out in the 2000s. So this may be a wholly different setup than what you have. The main thing is that it functions reliably, and if it does, then you're golden. In my original disassembly video, I showed how this is spring loaded right here, and so that ejector comes down so that you can slide the slide back and get it back onto the frame. Now, if you take that ejector and you push it down too far, or you're cleaning and you bump it, and you got your finger in that mag wheel or in the rag and you're cleaning around and you push that ejector in too far, it will hyperextend and you cannot get that ejector to pop back into place like that very easily. I'm going to recreate that issue, and hopefully I can fix it in such a way that you guys can see how to do this. When you push that ejector down, it pushes that spring. You can kind of see that edge of the spring right there. You can see things moving. So right here, that little nubbins that you see, that is the base of this ejector right here. And that base is pushing against a little tab on that spring. If you push this ejector down like that, there's no issue. You can just pop that right back up. If you push it too far, that little nub exceeds the limits of that tab, and then it gets stuck, and then that tab keeps that from rolling all the way around. So I'm just gonna take my finger and rotate. You continue to push that ejector down, and that is exactly what happens. Now, that ejector does not have any spring tension on it. So right there you can see the edge of the spring, and you can actually see the tab that it pushes against right there. So now when you try to rotate that back around, the tab's actually holding the base from going where it needs to be. So you gotta push down on this spring as you or someone else pulls up on the ejector right there. So what's happening now is one fish is realizing that she is gonna become the second person any second now, right?
Yeah, I've just been trying to avoid eye contact.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push down. So right here, I'm gonna push down on this spring. When I tell you to, then I want you to hook onto that, and then you're just gonna rotate that. It'll come all the way up. You'll know.
Okay.
If you can't pull on it, I haven't pushed it far enough. I'm just gonna get a smaller screwdriver attachment right there. Okay. Now it should just come right back up. Okay, just a minute. Let me. Okay, you got it? Okay.
Oh, it's right. It's like way up.
All right. Now you can see the bottom tab of the ejector is back in the place it should be. It's resting against that tab, and the spring is working. And that's how you fix the ejector if you've hyperextended it. Just put your grips back on, reassemble your gun like normal, and you're good to go. Now, another thing I discovered on this thing is on the safety. So on the inside of this, there's a little detent, and there's a little spring-loaded nubbins right there. And so that gives you a positive on and off. Now, when everything's taken apart and there's no scales on your pistol or anything like that, you can actually pull that down and this little nubbins pops out. So now you have this little tiny spring right here. It's a little wide at the base, so that it causes friction, so that when it goes down into there, it holds it into place. And then it's got a little steel nubbins right there. And that is what pushes into the detents on the safety to keep it into place. And then you have this nice little pocket which has been inserted and pressed into the frame. Unless you're having problems with it, I don't see any reason to pull this apart right there. But that one, you just push it in and it's a little friction fit. And then what I do is I just take the flat end. You can use a screwdriver. This is about as far as I feel comfortable messing with the internals on this firearm. Not many firearms get me nervous, but this one is just a little bit too intricate for my skill level. I hope that helps, and I hope it answered some questions.
Thousands of years ago, or maybe more, out on an island on a lonely shore, Robinson Crusoe landed one fine day. No rent to pay and no wife to obey. His good man Friday was his only friend. He didn't bar.
Mr. White, I hope that this helped out. If you have any other questions, let me know and I'll see if I can answer them. Have a great night. Keep your stick on the ice. Who's that?
Robin.
Did you catch her?
Yes. No.
She your buddy?
Yes.
She just pecked my dog.